Hello. Okay, it did not work out today at Fellowship to be able to record there. Long story, but anyway, I'm going to do this now before it doesn't get done, and then we'll just move on next week, and we hope maybe in another week or two we'll have things worked out. Anyway, here are the letters that we have done so far. Aleph, Bet, and I have vet here. I have a different one without the dagesh. In Hebrew, it's considered one letter. But I have both of them up there just to remind you that they're two sounds. Aleph, Bet, Vet, Gimel, Dalet, and this is a new one today, Hey, and Vav. So here's the letter Hey down here. And in Paleo Hebrew, it was a picture of a man with his arms up, and it looks like he's jumping up and down, saying, hey, look at this, look over here. And that's kind of what the Hey symbolizes when it's in a word. It's look at this, pointing to something, getting your attention. And this one, this is a word. It's just the letter Hey with the two dots under it. And those two dots in a line across make an A sound. That's called a tseri. So this says hey. And it's like we would use the word hey. Hey, look at this. Or it can be expanded with some other syllables or a few letters, and it means behold. But it's pretty much the same idea, right? It's that, take a look at this. Look at what I'm doing. This is the other thing that's important about a hey. Here it is with the line under it. And this is a prefix. It says ha. You pronounce this ha. And it means the. Now, in English, we have our articles and prepositions separate. We say to the store, and it's 3 words. In Hebrew, it's 1. You have to and the as prefixes before the word. So whenever you see this ha with the line under it, well, not always, almost every time you see the hey with a line under it at the beginning of a noun, it means the whatever. So that's another way of attracting attention. Look at this. This is an important thing. It's not just any old city, it's the city. This one matters. The other letter we're doing is called Vav, like V-A-V. And this is the letter, and it symbolizes a nail, which is what it kind of looks like. And nails, what do? They join things together. So here is the word Vav, and it's 2 Vavs with the ah sound, the vowel marker under it. So this says Vav, and that's the word for nail. So like if you had, you're making furniture and you're trying to get the leg to stay up to the tabletop or something, you would screw it or hammer it or something, connect it. That's the thing that this is doing. It's connecting. So Vav usually means a connection of some sort. Here is another prefix. This is the Vav with the 2 dots in a row. It's a shva. And that's like in the word the. You hear a little bit of an sound, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sound. Or we were about to go. The in front of about is also a schwa. And that's what this is. It says and it's a brief and sometimes in a word, especially if you have 2 of them right together in a row, one of them is just going to have to be a complete stop. So anyway, that's what that marker means. But the va with the dots under it is a prefix, and it means and. So the va is joining 2 things, macaroni and cheese, cats and dogs. And we're going to look at some things in just a minute here. But first, let's do 2 or 3 new words with the letters that we know. Okay. This is me always checking the vowel markings. Okay. Okay, so this is Bet, hey, vav. And the bet has the doggish, so it is a B sound, not a V sound. That's not coming in focus. There we go. Okay, so that's a bet and a hey and a vav. Now the bet has that little dot over the left-hand corner. That's an O sound. So this is bow. Oh, and I don't think I even told you what the sounds that these two new letters make. You might have figured it out from context, but this is a H sound. It's like our H. So bow, H, and this is a vav with a dot in the middle. And this is one of the times when vav is going to act like a vowel. It's not making a V sound here. This is one of the two ways you can make the oo sound. So this is the vowel that goes with the hey. Bo-hu. And it means void, empty. And it's only once in the Tanakh, in the Old Testament. And it's in a phrase. And I know we haven't done a tav yet. And I'm not going to get it all in one line. Okay, so it's going to be on... No, I want to do that right. Hang on a minute. Okay, we haven't done a tav yet. That's the last letter in the Hebrew alphabet. We'll get to it. But this is one of the two ways you can make a T sound. Ta. So ta, o, because you have the dot up there. To. And here's the hu again. Exactly the same thing. To-hu. And here's a va at the beginning of the word. Excuse me, need two dots there. Okay, there are like 3, maybe 4 words, I'm not sure, in biblical Hebrew that begin with a vav. It's like never used at the beginning of a word. So when you do see it at the beginning of a word, you can pretty well assume that it's an and, it's connecting things. So these rhyme, tohu, vabohu. Without form and void, or formless and void. And I bet you know where that comes from. That's from the creation story. So that's where you're going to find bohu. That's the only place. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, last time we talked about the word Abba, and that's Aramaic for father. And is that another? Okay. Okay, this also says Abba. The hey on the end is just part of the ah sound. Abba. And this is a verb. And it means to be willing. To be willing to do something. It sounds just like Abba, the Aramaic word for father, but it's spelled differently. We have a lot of words like that in English too. So you just kind of have to know from context. This is another word. Okay. Here's a gimel. Makes a G sound, a G. And this is a vet. It's one of the two ways you make a V sound. There's the vav, or it's the bet without the doggish. And anytime you have a line of any kind, whatever else might be with it, it's ah. Gav. And that means back, like the back of your body. It's a body part. This will be another verb. What was it? Okay. Brain cramp. Okay, this is a gimel, ga, with the ah sound, ga. And this is an aleph. Remember, the only sound that it makes is whatever vowel marking is under it. Ga, ah. And the hey is basically silent. Ga, ah. It's a verb, and it means to be high up. Now, probably you've heard this before, but in case you haven't, a little background about the Hebrew language. Every word comes from a three-letter root, like this. And the root is going to be a verb, because Hebrew is based on action. And it's going to be a concrete action. It's going to be something that you can actually perform. It's not going to be something ethereal. You'll hear over time a lot about the difference between Greek thinking and Hebrew thinking. And Greek thinking is, I believe and therefore I am saved. And Hebrew thinking is, here are the commandments, let us walk in them. So we do things. So every verb has some kind of concrete meaning. It may evolve and be tweaked so that it can mean something also spiritual, mental, metaphorical, but it starts out concrete. Ga'ah means to be high. And there are a few other words that we'll come across that mean something like that. There's another word that means to be high, ramam. And then there's nasa, which means to lift up high. So there are a lot of duplications in Hebrew. Anyway, that says ga'ah. Now, to show how it can be used and turned into other words, here are a couple more. Using the same three-letter root. Oh, that has a dogfish. Let's see this one. Yeah. Okay. This word, the second one, the middle one, gay-ah. The tsere, the two dots lined up, the A sound, gay-ah. And it means haughtiness. Because when you're haughty, you think you're just a cut above anybody else. Thinking of being up high. When you're haughty, you think you're up high. So that means haughtiness. Ga'eh is a haughty person, the haughty one. So you can start with something concrete and then use it for something that's more emotional or conceptual. But it starts out concrete. And now we're going to practice with some of these prefixes that I told you about. This is a word from last time. Have to look at everything. Okay. And I should have written it farther over. Okay. So these are two different words. I hope you can tell that. This is a dalet with an ah sound, and then a ga, the gimel, dog. We talked about dog last time. Dog means fish. So here's dog, hot dog. Not hot dog, but hot dog. And here's the hey at the beginning. This means the dog, fish. I've been saying dog, fish, the fish. And let's do another one. Start over a little farther this time. Okay, that's, do we have a doggish in there? Yes, we do. Okay. Okay. And the doggish in the Dalit does not make any difference. It's just, wanted to make sure I spelled it correctly. Da, O, here's that dot in the upper left corner. V, because there's no doggish in the bet. Dove. Do you remember what a dove is? It's a bear. The gur kind of bear. So here's dove, ha dove. Bear, the bear. And that's how these things, if you see a Hebrew word and it's got like 5 letters in it and you think, how do I know which ones are the root so I can tell what it means? If you see a va or a ha at the beginning of it, that's a pretty good chance that those are not the original root. And so you can eliminate those. But you'll just get better at it. Let's see. Okay. Oh. I have never memorized all the different ah things. I know that under that's going to be that one, but since they sound the same, I haven't had to memorize them to read them, so I always have to look them up. Okay. Av. This is the Hebrew word for father, remember? So father, the father. And what's I going to... Okay. Then, see if I can write this a little smaller, but still have you able to see it. Oops, forgot. Okay. Is that right on the... No. I forgot something. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to make this a little smaller to make it all fit on one line. Sorry for wasting the time here. Writing backwards here. Okay. The father. Ha'av. Just saw that up here. Ha'av v'hagamal. Here's the vav with the schwa marking under it. It means and. Here is the again, because you can have 2, 3, 4 prefixes at the beginning of a word, and maybe a suffix too. So va, ha, and then here's the 3-letter root. Gamal. That was another word that we talked about last time. It's what the letter gimel represents. It's another animal beyond a fish and a bear. It's camel. The father and the camel. Now, what if we've talked about the definite article, but in English, we don't always use the definite article. We're not always talking about a specific camel and a specific father. We might want to say a father and a camel. Oh, no, we don't start there. Oh, and I'm going to not have room again. Keep doing that. Scrunch little letters here. Okay. Of the gamal. That's not a very... Okay. Of the gamal. There's no ha there. So there's no the. In Hebrew, there is no indefinite article. There's no a, there's no an. So when you translate something from Biblical Hebrew into English, to have it make sense to us, you usually add one in. But this just says father and camel. But if you wanted to translate into English, we would probably say a father and a camel. That's just how it would translate for us. But they don't have one. They only have the definite. So if it's not definite, you just assume it's a or an. And one more set of things here. This was also from last week. And I know we haven't done all these letters. There's no doggish in that, is there? Okay. So, bait. It's one of the words that is important to the letter bet, because bet signifies a house or inn. And bait is how you pronounce it. Bayit. Bayit is house in Hebrew. So if you wanted to say the house, ha-bayit. Now, what if you wanted to say in the house? I don't know if you remember, but last week I said ba can be a prefix meaning in. So you have some of the prefixes we've talked about are the ha, which means the. This one we mentioned last week. This is in. It's just ba. Now they have a contraction for in the. And they have it for other things like in the, to the, by the, you know, things like that. And so you have the ah sound from the ha, but you use the letter that's the preposition. So what you would have is ba. Ba is a blend of these two prefixes, and it means in the. So if you wanted to say in the house, ba-bayit, ba-bayit, in the house. And if you just wanted to say in-house, it would be ba-bayit with just the sound, ba-bayit. That's in-house. And ba-bayit is how you say at home. I'm in the house. I'm at home. That's at home in Biblical Hebrew. Okay, I think that's it that I was going to say. Let's see if there was anything I scribbled on here that I did not bring up. I don't think so. Okay, so we'll move on next week with a couple more letters. Looking forward to it.